Hello everyone, Turtle Lags here, and welcome to another Reverse 1999 video. Now, some of you may be wondering why I am already creating an updated guide, not really a guide, but more like team composition recommendations for every 5-star and 6-star character available in this game. And the reason is because this coming Limbo, which will restart in 2 days, we have completely different, well, partially different Afflatus favored, which completely changes the team compositions that are recommended. Let me explain. So, basically, right now we're in Season 4. Now remember, Limbo resets the 1st and 16th of every month. This is technically the 4th Limbo we've had since the global release. As you see here, we have Lasaurus on side 1, who's weak to mineral, and then we have the pianist on side 2, that's weak to beast. Well, this was actually the case for this season and the previous season. However, for the next 2 seasons, Season 5 and Season 6, the favored Afflatuses will change. Now, instead of mineral and beast, we have mineral and star. So this changes a lot of things because the team compositions that will be optimal will be different. And so I'll go ahead and pull up the Afflatus diamond just to kind of illustrate how this will impact your team building. So I have the Afflatus relations up right now. So for side 1, it will be beast. They are beast enemies still, and mineral will be advantageous to the beast, so mineral will still shine on this side. However, this time, and still beast and star are going to be neutral on this side, and then plants are going to be weak on this side because beast eat the plants. So that's going to be side 1. Side 2, instead of, let's see, it was, what did I say? Oh, well, anyway, side 2, it's going to be Earth this time. So star is going to be advantageous. Mineral and plant are going to be neutral. And beast is going to be weak. So you don't want to play beast on side 2. This actually impacts things tremendously because currently we only have 5 healers, 2 of which are beast. And not everyone's going to pick Tooth Pull. Not everyone's going to win the 50-50 for Tooth Fairy, which is advantageous on side 2. So this kind of creates a tricky situation. And actually, due to other reasons, basically what happens is if you have limited resources to build your characters, whether it be you're free to play or you've only started like recently, I basically will recommend team compositions where you will use mineral and beast, so mineral and beast side 1, and then star and plant side 2, with spirit and imaginary or intellect, sprinkled in. I'm going to do it this way. The team compositions will be like this for maximum efficiency. Now, for those of you who have more characters, like say you're a free-to-play plus, or not free-to-play plus, you're a light spender, or you are a heavy spender, a Leviathan, I don't know. Basically, if you fall into the latter category where you're actually spending and supporting this game, basically take my team compositions and add in star for side 1 and mineral for side 2. Okay, but for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to recommend Mineral and Beast side 1, Star and Plant side 2. That way this guide is more universal, more inclusive for everyone. Now, I'm going to do things a little bit differently compared to the previous video. First of all, I'm not going to skip any characters. A previous video, I accidentally skipped X and Baby Blue because I didn't scroll down far enough in my notes. But another thing I'm going to do actually is I'm still going to go character by character, but for the characters that I haven't gone into detail yet, I'll just basically summarize in one sentence why you would pair this support with this offensive unit, okay? So we're going to go offensive unit, support, and then healer. And I will have timestamps for every single character. So you can just jump to the character that you plan to invest in, and I will tell you what support and healer or whatever vice versa that would make a good complement to them. Okay? I'm going to change the order of the offensive characters that I state first to coincide with side 1 and side 2. So let's talk about side 1 first. Side 1, like I said before, you're going to want to run Mineral and Beast. Okay, so let's start with Eternity. So Eternity is really special because she is our only 5-star / 6-star mineral DPS in the game currently. It blows my mind when I think about this. So, and because Eternity is such a fantastic damage dealer who also provides, sorry for the alarm, provides a self-sustain with her ultimate, leeching the enemy. And she also has additional utility with side 1 because LaSource, who will also be in this upcoming Limbo. As you know, the LaSource boss heals herself. And Eternity, her nasty wound from her Vigor handbag single target attack makes LaSource heal 50% less. So Eternity not only self-sustains, deals decent damage, but she also makes it so that the enemy doesn't heal as much. That way you can clear the stage faster. And then her multi-target attack is pretty nice. And then kind of going over Eternity's abilities, she is kind of like the true blue paladin in that right off the gate when you pull your Eternity, and I hope you all get her, she is immune to bleed, corrode, and poison. We don't know what bleed is yet, but corrode is basically where if you have corrode status at the end of the turn, you take Genesis damage. Poison, at the end of the turn, you take Genesis damage as well. And then at the start of each round, gains 1 stack of Blood of Longevity, deals 3% increased damage, and damage recovery increases by 3%. Cannot be dispelled, and the effect is stackable up to 5 times. So what is cool about Eternity, true to her name, is that the longer the turns go, the more damage she deals, and the more damage recovery she gains back from her ultimate. So Eternity, while her damage might not be great in the beginning, it will gradually ramp up to pretty phenomenal damage. It's kind of like Luxurious Leisure Psycube. And then Insight 2, damage plus 8%. And then Insight 3, Enhanced Blood of Longevity, where now damage increases by plus 5% and damage healed plus 5%. And at 5 stacks, it transforms to Blood of Immortality, where her damage bonus is plus 25% and damage heal is plus 25%. And with Blood of Immortality, she'll be immune to stats down. So basically, she cannot be debuffed. And so this is amazing. I know a lot of content creators early on said that Eternity's I3 is not that important, but I think it's very important because it increases her damage output, it increases her damage healing, and then it also grants her even more immunity when you reach the 5th stack. And for most of you, it will probably take about 5 to 6 turns at the minimum to clear side 1, so you will reach max stacks with Eternity. And then in terms of side cubes that I recommend, I would say Hopscotch is probably the best, but you can also do Brave New World as well. The reason being that with Hopscotch, every time you cast an incantation, well, her incantation will be increased, so the damage will be increased, and whenever she casts her ultimate, each time she casts her ultimate, that ultimate damage will increase the damage output by up to 4 stacks. Alright, now who do you pair with Eternity? Now, I'm going to recommend supports from most offensive to most defensive. The most offensive support for Eternity that I recommend is Pickles. The reason being is that Pickles' ultimate grants a party-wide damage percentage increase. Additionally, Pickles offers some utility that can be very useful for enemies who have some, combat tricks. Sonetto is also another fantastic offensive support because she is able to increase your party damage output, and I think she also mitigates damage. I'm going to kick myself if I'm wrong, but I believe that's what I read. Necrologist is also another good offensive and now leaning towards the defensive support because her ultimate is kind of like Pickles, where she provides a party-wide damage boost, but additionally she has this revival mechanic where she can apply revival to her 2 partners, and if her partners, either of them, die with the revival stack on, they will revive with X amount of HP, I think depending on some multiplier. So I said Pickles, Sonetto, Necrologist. I also recommend NewBabel. NewBabel is an interesting case because, she's an Earth Afflatus, so she will get the 30% damage boost. NewBabel also draws aggro and provides sturdiness to your party, and also fires back with Genesis damage follow-up attacks. So Miss NewBabel's another one. Tennant is good. Tennant is more of a defensive support, but her ultimate also provides defense shred. I forget if it's reality defense shred or universal defense shred, but that's another good support. And then X is the final support I would recommend. X basically dispels stats boosts from the enemy, as well as removes moxie -2 from all enemies with his ultimate. So those would be the supports I recommend for Eternity. For healers, this is going to be interesting because normally I would recommend Balloon Party, but if you don't have a Tooth Fairy, then you might want to run Balloon Party on side 2, because Medicine Pocket and Dikke are weak on side 2. So you basically, and everyone gets a Dikke on their 7th login, so either you run Dikke side 1 and then Balloon Party side 2, or you run Balloon Party side 1 and Tooth Fairy side 2. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. Alright, so that's for eternity. Next, I will go over Centurion. Now, Centurion is a basically single target / multi-target DPS that basically the way her kit shines is that she's very versatile and she hits very hard. And she has a high innate crit rate. Basically, her kit revolves around her having more moxie. For instance, with her single target attack, deals reality damage, plus moxie times 14%. So, if you have 1 moxie, you get 14% boost, 2 moxie, 28% boost, all the way to 14 times 5, which is 70% damage boost. And her Insight 1 Hot Sauce Expert also, for every 1 moxie owned, damage dealt plus 6%, up until a total of 6 times 5, 30% damage increase for all your skills. Additionally, she is one of only 2 or 3 characters in the game that can consistently, or actually in Centurion's case with some RNG, have her ultimate up turn 2. And it's because of this move, Outdoor Superstar. Now this move I recommend casting Incantation 2 or higher because she will grant an additional moxie to herself, which will allow you to reach your ultimate faster and thus decide whether you want to cast your ultimate early or start dealing massive damage faster. And then the ultimate has some utility because it inflicts weakness on the enemy, which makes the enemy with the weakness, which will be all of them because it's a mass attack, deal 25% less damage on their next attack. So it also helps with survivability, which is really awesome. And her Insight 3 actually provides, basically when she loses moxie or when she casts her ultimate, because you lose moxie when you cast your ultimate, she's going to gain back some HP. It's not a lot, it's maybe like 15% of her HP most of the time, or maybe 20%. It's not a high number, but it can matter if you are in a situation where you want to attack more and heal less. It could come in handy. Now with Centurion, pretty much the same exact story for supports. You want her from offensive to defensive capabilities. If you want to go hyper offensive, you want to run Pickles for the team-wide damage boost as well as the cleanse. You can go Sonetto for the team-wide damage boost and damage mitigation. You can go Necrologist, team-wide damage boost, revival. You can go NewBabel, defensive, aggro drawing on her part, applying shields to everyone and firing back with follow-up attacks. Plus NewBabel is mineral Afflatus, so that's advantageous. Tennant's another option if you want to apply sturdiness shields to your party members and also shred reality defense. And then X for the cleansing or dispelling, and then also removing moxie from the enemy party. Okay, so that's Centurion. Next we have Melania. Melania, she's special because in addition to dealing fantastic single target damage, she also moxie steals in multiple ways, and she basically, the incentive is very high to spam her ultimates. She's a single target attacker, so the most advantageous side cube will be Luxurious Leisure. Now, her first move is able to steal moxie when in her Thief Master status. Basically, the way it works is that in order to enter Thief Master status, she needs to cast her ultimate at least once. Basically, there's a tax you gotta pay in order to really benefit from her kit. and get things rolling. What I typically do when I play Melania is I try to get her ultimate up by turn 3 and then cast her ultimate and then follow up with either one of her incantations, because when in Thief Master she does steal Moxie 1 with Silent Takedown, and she gains 1 Moxie with Clockwork Rats, as well as gains 30% leech rate, just stealing the enemy's HP. Now, if you don't, during the early phase of the match where she hasn't cast her ultimate yet and no Thief Master, I recommend leveling up her Silent Takedown to level 2 or higher. That way she can remove 1 Moxie from the enemy target. And when it's level 3, actually, she removes 1 Moxie from the target and she gains 1 Moxie for herself. For her Clockwork Rats, unfortunately, the only way to gain 1 Moxie is to be in the Thief Master state. So I recommend when you're trying to build up Melania Moxies that you kind of spam the Clockwork Rats level 1, and when you can, do Silent Takedown at level 2. That would be my recommendation. And yeah, the ultimate has a fantastic multiplier. I have her at P0, so this is what you get when you pull her. Her insights are very good. She's one of the 6 stars that you'd most definitely want to Insight 3, because when she has Insight 3, she gets an additional stack of Fixed Plan. Basically how it works is that when you have her Insight 1, every time she casts her ultimate, she gains 1 stack of Fixed Plan, which increases her ultimate power by 20%. Stackable up to 6 times, cannot be dispelled. However, when you unlock Insight 3, instead of taking 6 ultimates to get 6 stacks of Fixed Plan, you only need to cast 3 ultimates to get the maximum ultimate power increase of 12 times 6, an additional 70. Basically, her ultimate will increase the damage by 72%. Yeah, so that's very good. And then in terms of her supports and healers, Pickles is the best because team-wide damage boost with Cleanse, followed by Sonetto for team-wide damage boost, damage mitigation, Necrologist for team-wide damage boost, revival ability, MissNewBabel to have more tankiness, have MissNewBabel draw aggro, and fire back with follow-up attacks. Tennant for the defense shred and the increased sturdiness, and then X for the removing 2 Moxie from all enemy party members, and also removing the different buffs that the enemies might have. Okay, so that's Melania. Sweetheart is kind of like a budget Eternity and Centurion if you're looking for a beast DPS. Melania, what makes her shine is her ultimate. Although she does deal additional damage if the enemy is in stats down, negative status, or control. So Sweetheart really benefits from partners such as, looking down the list, partners like Tennant who apply a stats down. Okay, so, and then her ultimate deals reality damage, reality defense, and mental defense shred 30% for 3 rounds. That's a heck of a long time, and inflicts daze for 1 round. Wow. That's like Medicine Pocket Ultimate 2.0, 3.0. It's pretty insane. So her insights, let's see, when the caster is attacked, inflicts the attacker 1 stack of enchanted for 2 rounds, If the attacker is of the opposite gender, inflicts 1 stack of enchanted for 2 rounds. So actually, this is probably not going to work on Lasource because I think Lasource is female. Or, well, you'll get like the minimum number of stacks, and then her crit rate increases at Insight 2. Insight 3, when the caster attacks, inflicts 1 stack of enchanted on the target for 2 rounds. If the target's of opposite gender, inflicts additional stack. What is enchanted? Damage dealt minus 10% to Sweetheart. So basically, whenever Sweetheart is attacked, or when she attacks, she is able to mitigate damage from the enemy. And these stacks they can stack, but they are time independently. So you will only have up to minus 10% damage dealt to Sweetheart. For Sweetheart mains, please let me know in the comments below if what I just said is correct. But that's what I think I'm reading here. Okay, so who pairs good with Sweetheart? Pretty much everyone I mentioned for the previous 6 stars. So Pickles for the damage boost and cleanse, Sonetto for the damage boost, damage mitigation, Necrologist for the damage boost and revival, NewBabel for the aggro drawing by NewBabel, the tankiness for the party, and also follow-up attacks from NewBabel, Tennant for the shields on everyone, as well as defense shred. I forget if it's universal or if it's just reality. And then X for the dispelling of the enemy buffs, as well as removing -2 moxie for the entire enemy party. Okay, so and then let's talk about A Knight side 1. A Knight, where are you? Okay, so A Knight, sorry guys, I'm losing my breath here and we've only just started. So A Knight side 1, he's spirit, so you can use him on side 1 or side 2. And actually, yeah, I'll just talk about side 1. So A Knight's kit is all about moxie stealing. The more he kills, the more moxie he gets. The higher leveled this glory incantation is, the more moxie he gets. Ultimate, when he kills anyone with his ultimate, everyone gets a damage boost. It's probably not going to be 50% at P0, but it's still like a pretty sizable damage boost to the entire party, which allows you to defeat the enemies faster. And then for his insights 1, let's see, for every HP 20% lost by the target, damage dealt by him will increase by 10%. He will take less damage with Insight 2, and then Insight 3, for every 20% HP lost by the enemy, you bypass the enemy's defenses by an additional 10%. I don't know if these numbers change with the portraits, but that's basically his kit. Very good multi-target damage dealer. Just dishes out a lot of damage. The supports on side 1 are going to be Pickles, Sonetto, Necrologist, NewBabel, Tennant, and X. From offensive to defensive minded. Alright, so now moving onwards to the star DPSs. So star DPSs, we can talk about Lilya. And actually, so the star DPSs and plant DPSs are going to be on side 2. So I'm going to go ahead and change this up here. So plant and star. Okay, so while we're on the topic of A Knight, let's go ahead and talk about A Knight side 2. So for A Knight side 2, just scrolling down in my notes here, the supports I recommend are going to be Anon Lee, Baby Blue, Bkornblume, Voyager, Diggers, Regulus, and X. I would recommend those because Anon Lee does everything. She buffs, she increases party damage, decreases party incoming damage. She dazes, and she increases incantation levels of random people, including a knight and the healer. Baby Blue, even though one of her incantations, the mental shred, will probably not help with a knight. Yeah, because he's reality. However, the rest of Baby Blue's kit is going to benefit a knight. Bkornblume, fantastic because her ultimate silence seals the enemy, keeping them from casting their ultimate. And she also shreds reality defense and increases the damage taken by the enemy. It'll further allow a knight to get those knockouts needed to fuel his kit. Voyager, very good for if you need a more defensive support to basically keep the enemy from casting their ultimates, casting their buffs, casting their debuffs, counters, healing. Voyager, when played masterfully, can shut down all that, at least the critical ones. And Voyager can also apply confusion sometimes to allow a knight to crit more. Digger is very good because Digger's debuffs like crazy, allowing a knight to deal additional damage. Regulus is a very good defensive support because if you are basically facing an enemy who just overwhelms you with non-ultimate damage, Regulus's rock and roll can really help you with just giving you some breathing room for one turn to heal up. And then X, of course, for the moxie shred and the dispelling. Okay, so now that I've talked about a knight again, let's go over the star DPSs. We have 5-star DPSs to talk about. Let's talk about Lilya first. And mind you, star DPSs are going to be advantageous on side 2. So all the star DPSs are going to actually be favored. No matter, even if their kit might not be the most versatile. Now, Lilya, her gameplay is all about critting. Her insights give her critting. Her insight 3 allows her Psycube's basic critical rate bonus to increase by 100%. Now, I misread this because I have Lilya I3 and I'm not critting 100%. It's not that she crits 100% of the time. It's that her Psycube equipped, basically that crit rate applied increases by 100%. So instead of 16% crit rate, it'll be 32% crit rate in my case. And then basically her crosswind takeoff is the one that does the follow-up attacks. Every time she crits, she deals additional damage. And then for her multi-target attack, unfortunately it doesn't do follow-up attacks. And then her ultimate, when she scores a critical, she gains some health back. And then in terms of her insights, when she casts her ultimate, her crit rate increases by 20%. So this gets her closer and closer to consistently getting close to 100% crit rate. And her Insight 2 grants additional 10% crit rate. Yeah, so in terms of teammates for Lilya, my favorite teammates are Ann Lee, Baby Blue, Bkornblume, Voyager, Diggers, Regulus, and X. The reason is because Ann Lee, she buffs, she mitigates damage, she dazes, keeping the enemy from acting, and she also levels up incantations with her ultimate. Baby Blue, same thing. Baby Blue, part of her kit, I think like a fourth of her kit or a third of her kit doesn't help Lilya because Lilya's reality damage dealer, and Baby Blue shreds mental defense. However, Baby Blue does increase the damage taken by the enemy, and she also adds additional utility. Bkornblume, very good because she seals the enemy's ultimate with her ultimate, She shreds reality defense and increases the damage taken by the enemy, all enemies, for 2 turns, and she deals great damage. And then we have Voyager, if you want a more defensive support, to basically silence the enemy and seal the enemy, keeping them from casting their buffs, their heals, their debuffs, their counters, and their ultimates when you time it right. I forgot to mention Voyager also removes 2 moxie with her ultimate from the enemy target, and she also applies damage mitigation. Diggers basically does a whole bunch of debuffs that can help shred defenses, and cast Nightmare to keep the enemy from acting so long as they are not hit afterwards. Regulus is another good support. We have a ton of excellent supports on side 2. So side 2 may actually be easier this time around compared to the Limbo that we are currently in. Regulus is going to be a good support because in addition to dealing good sub DPS damage and being AP generous, she also has Rock and Roll, which basically makes your party dodge all non-ultimate attacks for 1 round, so long as Regulus doesn't act again after rock and rolling, right? And then she also, when her Apple incantation gets to level 2 or higher, she removes 1 moxie from the enemy. So that's wonderful. And then X, of course, fantastic all-star unit, or all-star support that can fit anywhere, that can shred moxie -2 to all enemies with his ultimate, as well as dispel some things. Okay, so that was for Lilya, and Regulus is next. Regulus, where are you? Okay, Regulus, one of the main characters in this game. She's a more defensive DPS who could actually pair very well with a hyper-offensive support. It's a pretty interesting dynamic when it comes to team building. But if you want to have Regulus kind of like as your main DPS, then basically you're going to want to rock and roll. Oh, I forgot to mention, for Lilya, Tooth Fairy is going to be the best healer, and then Balloon Party and Sotheby will be good alternatives. Sorry about that. Yeah, and then so Sleepless Rave, it allows her to enter Riot and Roll for 1 turn, where your party dodges all non-ultimate attacks so long as Regulus doesn't do anything else after that. Just have her do the rave and not do anything else. And then the other part of her kit, when challenged for the eyes, is level 2 or higher. She will remove -1 and -2 to those 2 targets. And that's really good, actually, because Melania, she only steals moxie from a single target, so Regulus can steal moxie from 2 targets. And then for Insight 3, basically Regulus, she is considered action point generous or AP generous, which means that if you decide to run her every other turn, which means like just basically only attack every other turn, it's okay to merge cards. Merging cards doesn't count as an action. Then she will enter Restless Heart, and when she enters Restless Heart, she'll have like kind of like a bullet icon above her head. Her crit rate will increase by 50%, and excess crit rate will be converted to crit damage. Cancels after scoring a critical. Yeah, so this is very good because it makes it so like it's okay to have team members with Regulus that bring her crit rate above 50%. None of it will go to waste. And then for recommended team members, I would say the number one choice would probably be Voyager, Anon Lee, Baby Blue, and Bkornblume. Because Voyager, she applies confusion on the enemy with her level 2 incantation, which will allow Regulus to crit more consistently, whether she is in Restless Heart or not. Plus, Voyager shuts down basically any non-attack that the enemy wants to do, like buff, debuff, counter, heal, ultimate. Voyager will seal that every 4 actions. And Voyager moxie steals, kind of like with Regulus, so you can kind of like moxie steal away the enemy. That's pretty cool. That's Pog. Anon Lee increases damage boost, damage mitigation, dazes the enemy, keeping them from acting, and raises incantations with her ultimate. Stellar support. Baby Blue, special mention, extra synergy with Regulus because she's mental. Because Regulus is mental, so Baby Blue's mental defense shred will benefit Regulus, in addition to the damage increase taken by the enemy, and also her ultimate, which does some utility as well. Bkornblume ultimate seals the enemy, keeping them from casting their ultimate. Bkornblume, even though she shreds reality defense, but Bkornblume also increases the damage taken by the enemy, so Regulus will still get the damage boost by that clause. I want to emphasize that. And Bkornblume hits hard. Okay, let me just stand for 2 seconds because I've been sitting. Okay, I'm back. All right, so Diggers is another good support for Regulus because Diggers casts Nightmare, which immobilizes the enemy as well as applies a bunch of debuffs. Lilya is a good sub DPS to pair with Regulus because Lilya will benefit from the same supports that Regulus does with the confusion application and crit rate increase. So they will make a good pair. And then X for the Moxie Shred and the Dispelling. And then for Regulus, the number one party member is going to be Tooth Fairy because it will just make Regulus crit consistently with the confusion application as well as the Baby Tooth crit rate shred and crit defense shred. But if you don't have Tooth Fairy, Balloon Party and Sotheby will be fine. Okay, so next we're going to go over Charlie. Charlie is another mental DPS who is more offensive than Regulus. Charlie, she shines at P3 because P3 makes it so that her HP only needs to be below 80% in order to deal additional mental damage. But if you run her below P3, it's still okay. She's a good DPS. It's just that her follow-up attacks will only activate her additional mental damage will only activate from her incantations if she's below 50%. But if you are a newer account where the enemy is dealing more damage to you, fulfilling that requirement might not be an issue anyways. I mean, side 2 does hit pretty hard, and Charlie is squishy. Now, if for her Thunder to Thee, if Charlie has the stats up, this attack deals more mental damage. That's good. So Charlie would benefit from supports that buff her damage output, like Anon Lee, Baby Bloom, Bkornblume. I'm not sure about Voyager. I don't know if sturdiness counts as a status up. If it does, then Pog. Voyager would also be fantastic. But, you know, Diggers and Regulus and X would also be good supports for her, because Diggers casts Nightmare to immobilize the enemy. That way, if you have your Charlie's HP just the way you want her, you know, maybe you can hold off on healing. Regulus, same thing with her rock and roll. I don't know if this is actually the case. I think for you Charlie mains, you can tell me. Most of you Charlie mains have her at P3, but I'm just kind of thinking out loud. And then X with the Moxie Steel, that will also help keep Charlie alive. Tempest to thee. So this was what I was talking about when the caster's HP is below 50% or 80%, she'll deal additional damage. And then her ultimate will actually dispel stats up, positive stats boost encounters from all enemies. That's really good. That's really good. Charlie is a fantastic DPS with a lot of utility. And then his Inside 1, when the round starts... Oh, when he has below 50% HP when he starts, damage mitigation as well as increased critical defense for 1 round. So Charlie is able to turtle up a little bit when her HP falls below the red. And then for her I3, when she starts with HP above 50%, increased damage for plus 20% for 1 round. Okay, so even if she's not low on HP, you will still get some sort of damage increase. It just might not be as much as a, you know, if you're below 50% or 80% HP. So I already mentioned which partners that she'll pair with. I think she would be fantastic with Ann Lee, Baby Blue, Bkornblume, because they are offensive support units that shred defenses in the case of Baby Blue and Bkornblume, as well as buff Charlie. Bkornblume shreds reality defense, but she still increases damage taken by the enemy, so Charlie will still benefit from that clause. Oh, I'm sorry, Bkornblume doesn't buff. Sorry. Ann Lee's the one who buffs. Yeah, but anyways, Ann Lee, Baby Blue, Bkornblume and Voyager, because she applies confusion and also has a lot of crowd control, are my top 4 choices for Charlie. Diggers, Regulus, X are also very good choices. Actually, Regulus might be another fantastic sub DPS with Charlie, just because Charlie benefits from crit rate manipulation in the same way Regulus does. In Regulus, Riot and Roll helps with survivability. And X, just an honorable mention for the Moxie Shred. Best healer hands down for Charlie is going to be Tooth Fairy, because Tooth Fairy will increase her crit damage. When I think about it now, crit damage is not as necessary for Charlie, but Tooth Fairy is the best healer on side 2, because beast healers are weak on this side. And then Balloon Party and Sotheby are honorable mentions for healers. Okay, so Blonney is next. Blonney's our new 5-star. Oh, I don't have her I too. But so Blonney, her kit revolves around granting herself crit rate and crit damage increase. She deals reality damage. She has the ability to apply confusion as well, so she could actually be a sub DPS now that I think about it. That's interesting. Yeah, but her ultimate's very selfish. Just basically she only increases her own crit rate, and she applies confusion to the enemy. So I still consider her as a main DPS. And then for her insights, basically when she casts her ultimate, her crit rate and crit damage increases by 20% for 2 turns. So she's kind of like Melania in the sense that once you get her ultimate up once, her subsequent damage will increase. And it's up to you whether you want to keep that momentum going or not by having her spam her incantations. Increase crit damage bonus from Insight 2. Insight 3, after casting an ultimate, crit rate and crit damage increase by an additional 10%. So basically 30% crit rate increase, 30% crit damage increase for 2 rounds. So as you can imagine, she would really benefit from supports that can either increase her damage output, or like increase her crit rate, which is basically damage output. So Ann Lee, Baby Blue, Bkornblume, and Voyager are going to be my recommendations. Diggers for the bunches of debuffs, Regulus for more survivability, and X for the Moxie Shred, team-wide Moxie Shred. And then Tooth Fairy is the best healer for Blonney because of the confusion application and the crit rate and crit defense shred on the enemy, which allows Blonney to crit more and crit harder. That's Blonney for you. We'll talk about Matilda next. Matilda, her kit is not as versatile, or maybe it is, let's see. So confusion application at level 2 or higher with Work of Genius. Bypasses defenses with her penetration. And then her ultimate grants her additional, she gets 15% crit rate when she casts her ultimate. I think it's just for her ultimate. So that's her kit there. And then insights, when she has a buff of some kind, her crit rate increases by 15%. And then at Insight 3, when she has some sort of buff, then she takes less damage. So yeah, she really wants stats buffs. She really wants to crit. And so for that reason, Voyager, Ann Lee, Bkornblume, and Baby Blue are going to be very good. Actually, Baby Blue provides more utility for Matilda than Blonney because Blonney's reality, if I'm not mistaken. And then of course you can go Diggers, Regulus, and X for other utility. Tooth Fairy is going to be the best healer for her, but Balloon Party and Sotheby will also be very good. I mentioned Tooth Fairy because in addition to her superior healing, she also does the crit rate and crit defense shred, as well as confusion application. Alright, so now for the 2 plant DPSs. I'll actually talk about Druvis I'll talk about Druvis first, because we're going with timestamps here. Alright, so Druvis, she is one of the 2 premier petrifiers. Actually, I think Diggers petrifies when I think about it. Well, actually, I don't remember. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't want to refilm a whole video just for that. But anyways, Druvis, she petrifies in 2 different ways. She petrifies by having a level 2 Wind in the Woods, and then she petrifies with her ultimate. And then the mass attack basically bypasses some defenses. Okay, and then Insight 1, when she has a damage boost, she deals increased 20% damage so long as she has the buff. And then when you have her Insight 3, she makes all plant allies enter Circle of Life, in which the plant unit will heal 10% extra and also leech 10% of the damage they deal in the form of HP. Yeah, so this creates a bunch of unique synergies that actually increases the number of supports that she can have, that's viable for her. So actually I mentioned Diggers first because he is a plant mental damage dealer that provides a lot of utility with his Nightmare as well as his bunches of debuffs. Ann Lee is another plant unit that even though she's reality, she does apply buffs on all party members, including Druvis III. And then that allows her Insight 1 to activate, thus granting her plus 20% damage output. Bkornblume and Baby Blue are also very good. Baby Blue especially because Baby Blue does a mental defense shred as well as is a mental support. I'm actually going to build her next as my next 5-star because of that, and Baby Blue also has additional utility. Bkornblume, even though she only shreds reality damage and she's a reality damage dealer, however she does benefit from Druvis's Circle of Life, and Bkornblume also seals the enemy ultimate, which can synergize very well with the Druvis's Petrify if you're just trying to shut down the enemy. Also, Satsuki is a good support with Druvis because you can kind of alternate petrifies between Druvis and Satsuki. Voyager is very good because I think Voyager's sturdiness is considered a positive status, which allows Druvis to deal 20% more damage from her Insight 1. And Voyager also complements Druvis well in shutting down the enemy with her -2 Moxie ultimate, as well as her mass silence and seal on all enemy targets for every 4 actions that Voyager takes. And then X also, along the same vein, shreds Moxie from the entire enemy party with his ultimate, as well as dispels different things that you don't want. Okay, so that's Druvis for you. Satsuki is next. I really need a pee, so I'm going to speed this up. Satsuki, where are you? Satsuki. Okay. So Satsuki is basically like a backloaded Druvis in that her rabbit, her handcuffed thief, at level 2 applies 1 stack of rigidity, and it's basically a stack that when you have 2 stacks of rigidity, it turns into Petrify or extends the duration of the existing Petrify for 1 round. Yeah, so sorry I'm moving around. I've been sitting around a long time. And then what does this do? This bypasses enemy defense. And then her ultimate inflicts 2 stacks of rigidity, which automatically turns into 1 Petrify or extends the Petrify of the existing Petrify. So that's really pog. And then additionally, yeah, so you can actually Petrify lock the enemy with Satsuki and Druvis combined. And then for Satsuki's Insight 1, when Satsuki enters battle, inflicts 1 stack of rigidity on all enemies. Oh, okay, so it's actually not even backloaded. It automatically happens. And when the caster dies, when Satsuki dies, she inflicts Petrify on the enemy with the highest attack for 2 rounds. Wow. I didn't know that. That's really good. And Insight 2 bypasses the enemy defense by 10%. Insight 3, any attacks against enemies with rigidity or Petrify enjoy penetration rate plus 15%. And so when when the caster is attacked, when Satsuki is attacked by enemies with rigidity, damage taken minus 10% by minus 15%. That is so cool. Wow. So it's like basically you're making your party when they hit rigid or petrified enemies, they your party members' attacks will bypass some enemy defenses. Wow, that's really good. Satsuki is, I think, the perfect sub DPS for Druvis. So I'm going to say her best support is going to be Druvis, because Druvis basically fuels Satsuki's kit. Of course, Satsuki is going to benefit very much from Baby Blue, because Baby Blue is a mental defense shredder who applies utility. Diggers, Anon Lee, Bkornblume, Sotheby. I actually forgot to mention Sotheby for Druvis. That's also possible. Voyager and X. And then for healers, I would recommend either Tooth Fairy or Sotheby, or Balloon Party if you don't have either of those. Okay, so now that I've gone through the DPSs, I'm going to go over the supports. Guys, I really need to pee, so I'm going to put my "be right back." I really need to pee, so I'm sorry for making this 3 hours long. I'll be right back. Okay, I feel a million times better. Oh, good, and I was actually recording. If I wasn't recording, I would have been Monka to the 10th power. But okay, let's go ahead and go back to... Go back to live. I am out of breath, guys. This is my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is my 7th take, guys. Please forgive me for the scuffed video. I just don't have the energy to refilm this, and I have 0 editing skills. So anyways, we're gonna go back. Okay, so where did we leave off? Pickles is next. Okay, so we're going through the supports now. We're going side 1 first. Side 1 first. You can do this, turtle. Alright, so... I'm dying here, guys. I'm dying. I don't know how long this has been recording. Okay, Pickles. Hi, my most favorite character in the game. Okay, Pickles. P5 because he's my most favorite. I don't know why I mentioned that. It doesn't matter. Okay, so Pickles. Why is he so amazing? It's because he is action point generous. He at Insight 3 starts with 2 stacks of clarified topic, and basically when he casts his ultimate, he casts a damage plus 30% to all allies for 1 round. for 2 rounds. Sorry, I'm reading the wrong sentence. For 2 rounds. I should know this. I run Pickles every day. For 2 rounds, guys. And yeah, if he's in clarified topic, if he has a stack of clarified topic when he casts his ultimate, that party-wide damage dealt is increased by 1 round. All right. And then for his single target attack, basically it deals mental damage, and if you are under clarified, if you have a stack of clarified topic, he will deal more damage. And then his multi-attack, same story. Honorable mention is that when you have him inside 2 or higher, not only does he bypass enemy defenses with penetration rate, but when you have incantation 2 or higher, he also dispels all their stats up, positive status, and counters for those 2 targets. It's really amazing. Okay, and then basically as part of his kit for Insight 1, when he doesn't cast any actions this round, he will generate 1 stack of clarified topic. And clarified topic is a very valuable resource unique to Pickles, because he's a philosopher. Basically, every time you cast an incantation when he is under clarified topic, he will consume a clarified topic stack and gain 1 additional moxie for Pickles, in addition to the unique utility that clarified topic provides to his 2 incantations as well as his ultimate. Okay. Me being a Pickles connoisseur, I recommend a starting rotation of moving his incantation once for 1 moxie and casting his next 2 incantations for 1 moxie per incantation, as well as 1 moxie per 1 moxie per clarified topic stack consumption. This will guarantee, Pickles is the only character who can guarantee a turn 2 ultimate without RNG. Thank you, or you're welcome. Okay, so who goes well, which DPS goes well with Pickles? Eternity for side 1 for sure, because Eternity is the premium mineral DPS. Centurion, Melania, and A-Knight. They are all fantastic DPSs for different reasons. Eternity for the self-sustain. Centurion for the damage output, both single and multi-target. Melania for the single target hyper DPS with Moxie Steal or Manipulation, and then A-Knight for the ultimate spams and multi-target attacks. And then for healers to pair up with Pickles, I would recommend Balloon Party, but if you don't have Tooth Fairy on side 2, I recommend Balloon Party on side 2, and either running Dikke, which everyone gets, or Medicine Pocket on side 1 with Pickles. Now let's go over Sonetto next. And there's so many supports, I don't remember every single little detail that every support provides, so this will be a good refresher. So I would say my favorite part of Sonetto's kit is her buff, because with just level 1, she already applies a mass universal damage increase as well as damage mitigation, plus allowing Sonetto to bypass some of the enemy's defenses. And then her Commandment 5 disarms the enemy basically at level 2 or higher. It makes it so that she disarms the enemy for 1 round, meaning that they cannot cast their attack incantations. That's, I think, if memory serves me right, is unique to Sonetto. And then her ultimate, if Sonetto has a buff on her, which she will, it allows her to bypass additional defenses as well as deal additional reality damage. It's pretty cool. She's a team player and also makes herself deal additional damage. At Insight 1, when she has a buff on herself, she deals additional damage, Pog. Insight 2, she gets more reality and mental defenses, Pog. Insight 3, when the caster is in status up or positive status, crit resist and crit defense plus 15%. Wow. So she'll turtle up at Insights 2 and 3, so that's pretty awesome. I'm out of breath. Okay, and then the best DPSs are the same as with Pickles. Eternity for a self-sustaining DPS. Centurion for a mass, for a versatile multi-target and single-target attack. Melania for the single-target hyper offense and Moxie's manipulation, and then A Knight for the ultimate spams. And actually I should mention A Knight's ultimate, when he defeats an enemy, will also provide a damage dealt boost to all the party members, so very good DPS as well. And then for the healers, you can go Balloon Party, Dikke, or Medicine Pocket. Okay, so on to Necrologist.
Hello.
Okay, so Necrologist, I love her kit. She's going to be one of the characters that I build next. So her standard one target attack bypasses enemy defenses with penetration. By the Coffin, when it's level 2 or higher, is kind of like Pickles in that she dispels stats up and positive status from that one target. And this is in contrast with Pickles, who can remove it from 2. And then for her ultimate, it's actually a mass buff that applies prayer and damage boost to all allies for 3 rounds. That is a lot. That's a lot of rounds. Wow. Prayer, basically, but she doesn't apply it to herself. She applies it to other allies. But that's cool. So her 2 other or 3 other allies who have prayer, basically the character with the prayer stack does not die after taking lethal damage, and instead gains some health back based on Necrologist's attack. That is so cool. That's so cool. And then her insights. So when Necrologist enters prayer, when Necrologist enters battle, she gets prayer, but she'll only get prayer once. Okay, that's interesting. That's very cool. And then Insight 3, when a prayer status on your side is dispelled, I think Necrologist gains the HP. Does Necrologist gain the HP, or does that ally gain the HP? I think it's Necrologist. Comment down in the comments below if you are a Necrologist lover and you've tested this out. If not, I will test it out by the time I raise Necrologist. Whew. Okay, we're done with Necrologist. Miss NewBabel next. I have to speak loud so you guys can hear me, but I'm getting tired. Okay, Miss NewBabel, hello. Very pog character. Has a lot of riz because I don't know why I even said that. Okay, she applied shields to her party. I'm going crazy. Her attack, I don't even care anymore, but let's keep going. So for level 2 or higher, if Miss NewBabel has an active shield on, she gains 1 moxie. so that she can draw aggro more frequently with her ultimate and cast more follow-up attacks. That is very cool. So she gets shields from this, and when she gets a shield and at level 2 of Old Idea, so she's smart like Pickles, then she will gain 1 moxie. Very cool. Kind of Centurion-esque. Ultimate, in addition to being one of the coolest ultimate animations in Reverse 1999, she also self-counters. She enters a taunt and fanged partner. Dude, this video is going to be so scuffed. Alright, anyways, she enters taunt and fanged partner statuses and gains control immunity and riposte. So riposte is when she's attacked, and remember, taunt will draw at all enemy attacks will target characters with taunt. So all enemies are hitting her, and when she gets hit, she fires back with reality damage and genesis damage for 2 rounds. 2 rounds, people. 2 rounds. 37 is gonna love her. When 37 comes out. Fanged partner, immune to control. No one can stop her awesomeness, people. No one. Riposts, I don't even know what that word means, but riposts when the caster is attacked. That's the counter attack. The riposte is regarded as one extra action. So 37, for those of you who don't know, is a 1.4 future released character that every time she attacks or a partner casts a follow-up attack, she gets 1 Eureka, and 37, when she gets 5 Eureka stacks, casts a follow-up attack on all enemies. I'm definitely going to build Miss NewBabel. Okay, but that's not all, folks. Insight 1, when Miss NewBabel is attacked, gives the caster 1 stack of Guardian Instinct. This is cool. So Guardian Instinct increases her reality defense by 5%, and she can gain up to 5 stacks of this. So she can get up to 25% reality defense increase. Yes. I don't know if it goes away. For Miss NewBabel enjoyers, let me know in the comments below if this goes away at any point. Probably not though, because at Insight 3, after gaining a total of 15 Guardian Instinct stacks, she enters Loyal Partner status, and the caster can no longer gain Guardian Instinct. So basically at Loyal Partner, she caps at 25% reality defense, but she is now immune to moxie steals. And guys, they're on Limbo side. Actually, side 1, I don't know if there will be moxie stealing enemies. Side 2 does. So if you decide to run Miss NewBabel on side 2, then that could come in handy. Yeah, so partners for Miss NewBabel. So it's the same 4 DPSs: Eternity, Centurion, and Melania, and A-Knight. And then the partners would be Medicine Pocket, Dikke, and Balloon Party. Okay. I'm not going to repeat myself as to why. You can check one of the other earlier supports for why. I gotta move on. Tennant. Tennant is our only beast support. So I told you before about her sturdiness, applying shields to mitigate damage for all your allies, even at level 1, that's Pog. And then single target is just reality damage. And then her ultimate deals reality damage with 2 stacks of Diamond Bullet. Every time that enemy with Diamond Bullet every time the enemy with Diamond Bullet attacks, that enemy's reality defense. Oh, the... What? After the caster attacks, reality defense minus 30% to the target for 2 rounds. So the caster is the caster with the dialed... Oh wait, no. Tennant is the one who loads the bullets, right? So the diamond bullet's on her. Right. So when Tennant shoots the bullet... Oh, then the enemy gets reality defense shred for 2 rounds. Okay. Man, this needs to be reworded, but that's basically what that means. Okay. Now, Insight 1. After Tennant enters battle... I wish they would just say Tennant enters battle. After Tennant enters battle... immediately casts 1 star of Bouquet of Galaxy and gains 1 stack of Diamond Bullet, which I mentioned was the one that shreds reality defense for that target for 2 turns. But what is Bouquet of Galaxy, you ask? I have no idea. Okay, Insight 3. If the caster I'm raising my hand for no reason, I don't know why. If the caster starts a round with HP below 50%... if the caster starts a round... Oh, okay, so if Tennant has less than 50% HP, immediately casts a 1-star Bouquet of Galaxy. What's Bouquet of Galaxy? Oh, it's the buff. Holy, okay. So, yo! So she enters battle applying shields to everyone. And she gains 1 stack of Diamond Bullet. I didn't know that. Dude, Tennant is insane. So for those of you out there who have really squishy accounts, just run Tennant as your support. And you'll be turtling up and shredding reality defense. Holy. Okay. So her best DPSs for this upcoming Limbo are going to be Eternity, Centurion, Melania, and A-Knight. And then her healers are going to be Medicine Pocket, Dikke, and Balloon Party. And if you want to know the reasons, you can check out one of the earlier characters. Okay, Baby Blue, the character I skipped. I will, even though this video is probably 2 hours long, I'm still gonna take my time with her, because I think she's mad at me for skipping her last time. Baby Blue, show up, please. Oh, I need to go to sleep. Okay, Baby Blue, where are you? Okay, I'm losing my mind. I kind of went in the wrong order because anyways, so Baby Blue. Okay, so Baby Blue, like I mentioned, is one of the 5 stars that I will be raising next. So Baby Blue has a fantastic kit. Baby Blue's amazing. Oh, I just realized I haven't even gone over the plant supports yet. Okay. Namaste. Okay. Cough syrup. Mass debuff. Shreds damage. And increases damage taken by all enemies for 2 rounds at level 1. Guys, you say Baby Blue is a mental healer. I'm gonna shut down the debate once and for all. Baby Blue is not just for mental teams. I've gotten 3 comments on my previous video telling me that I'm wrong. Yeah. So Baby Blue can help anyone because of this debuff. Okay, But yes, Baby Blue is extra pog, is the cherry on top, is the creme de la creme, is the creme brulee for all the mental teams. Because at level 2 or higher, she also shreds mental defense on the target for 2 rounds. That is super Omega Pog. However, kind of like how Voyager needs a level 2 incantation to apply confusion and thus is not exactly only for crit teams, in the same way, Baby Blue's Tea Party needs a level 2 or higher to shred mental defense, whereas her debuff, who you can fire away at incantation 1, benefits everyone. Okay. And Tea with Friends. Mental damage to all enemies. If the target is in stats down negative status, control, which will most likely be the case with her debuff, which lasts for 2 turns. Super Omega Pog. I don't know why I said that. Inflicts Nightmare on the enemy for 1 round. Nightmare. They cannot act, people. Dispels after the enemy takes any damage. Or it gets attacked. So, basically you would want to cast her ultimate at the end. After every attack. I think it should be okay to heal. Okay, so her insights. Insight 1, when Baby Blue takes mental damage, she takes less damage and her crit defense goes up. She will be critted less. And then Insight 2, she will also be critted, or when she gets critted, she will take less damage, sorry. And then for Insight 2, she'll be critted less. Insight 3, when the caster takes mental damage, gives the attacker 1 stack of Wonderland Visitor for 2 rounds. Wonderland Visitor, what does that do? Damage bonus minus 10% for 2 rounds. So it seems to me, I mean, I don't know how you can control this, but Baby Blue performs extra. She gets tankier against mental enemies. So Baby Blue, don't touch her, right? Yeah, so, yeah, she's very good. And then who do you pair her up with for this upcoming Limbo? It's going to be Eternity, Centurion, Melania, A Knight. For healers, Medicine Pocket, Dikke, Balloon Party. Okay, on to Voyager. Okay, Voyager. So, at level 2, Starlight Sonata, she applies Confusion. At level 1 or higher, Concerto in Defense. She provides a mass counter for all your allies, where if they get hit, the damage is mitigated, and they fire back with Genesis damage. And then her ultimate, single target attack that removes 2 moxie from the enemy. Amazing. And if the enemy is in confusion status, this ultimate will deal more mental damage. So to get this bonus damage off reliably, you pretty much need Tooth Fairy, because I cannot seem to coordinate it most of the time so that the enemy still has a confusion stack with just Voyager alone. And then her refrain insights are broken. So after performing 3 actions, enters refrain. And refrain, so if there are enemies after the caster takes action. So this is where I made the mistake last time. I thought that she silences all enemies and seals all enemies after every 3 actions, but no, it's actually after every 4 actions. Because the first 3 actions you enter refrain, and then after she takes an action, right? That's what it says here. So that's action number 4. Then she inflicts the round of silence. And for that reason, even though her refrain ability is absolutely nuts, it's actually a lot harder to pull off at the time that you want than I originally thought. But she's still very good. Insight 3 is what allows her refrain to also inflict 1 round of silence, or of seal, which makes it so all enemy parties cannot use their ultimate. So who do you pair with Voyager? I would say Eternity, Centurion, Melania, and A-Knight for the DPS side. And then for the healers, it will be Medicine. It'll be Tooth Fairy. Why did I think I... Oh, shoot. Oh my goodness, I made myself sound so stupid. Sorry, for Baby Blue. Oh no. I copy-pasted the wrong thing. Oh no, not like this. Dude, I'm gonna get flamed in the comments. Okay, well, for those of you Baby Blue watchers who are flaming me right now, the best healers are gonna be Tooth Fairy and Tooth Fairy, Balloon Party, and... Wait, what? Yeah. Wait, this is side 2. You're going to use Baby Blue on side 2. So it's going to be Tooth Fairy. No, and I'm still recording. Okay. I'm going to go off script now. Tooth Fairy, Sotheby, or Balloon Party. Man, I feel so sad and I don't want to re-record this. Alright, let's go over Click that I don't recommend, but if you like Click, then go for it. Man, I feel so sad right now. Okay, so the thing about Click is that both of his attacks turn into debuffs at incantation level 2 or higher. So, this first debuff inflicts blind on the target, makes them deal 30% less damage. Okay, and then for this one, at level 2 or higher, the Witness removes 1 moxie from the target, or 2 if it's level 3. Okay, so a picture at a price. It's a group attack that deals mental damage to all enemies, applies lens cap, which makes it so that when Click... Oh, no, applied to other allies. When the other allies are attacked by reality damage mitigated by 50%. It's kind of niche. You basically need to face against reality enemies. So do you want to support like that? If you know the enemy inside and out, maybe. Okay, and then at the beginning of every 2 rounds, Click enters lens cap for 1 round, meaning that he will get massive damage reduction from reality attacks. And then if Click has a lens cap status, bypasses defenses. Click, if you're going to run him on side 1, then you're going to use DPS's Eternity, Centurion, Melania, and A-Knight. And if it's side 2, then it's going to be... I guess you can do any... I'm trying to think who he would synergize with. Click... I guess anyone who needs moxie removal and damage mitigation. So squish your units like Charlie and Lilya, and Regulus and Blonney and Matilda. Probably those. Man, I feel so sad because I totally messed up my notes. Okay, whatever. Okay, so X, let's talk about X next because I skipped him. Okay. Get it together, turtle. It's alright. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone gets tired at some point. Okay, so my favorite part about X is that he removes 2 moxie of all enemy attacks. She removes 2 moxie from all your enemies. And then his he has the ability to dispel stats up in positive status with his level 2 anode and cathode. And then with coffee or tea, he's a tea connoisseur, Pog, dispels all counters. Kinda niche, very niche, but really you just want to get his ultimate up, keep the enemies from casting their ultimates, doing any funny business. And then, okay, there's an incentive for dispelling the enemy status. When he dispels an enemy status up from the enemy, inflicts silence on them. What the heck? Yo! They cannot use buff, debuff, heal, or counter for 1 round. And when you remove a counter from them, you silence them for 2 rounds. Wow. Okay. And then at Insight 3, after casting the ultimate, inflicts disconcert status on the targets for 1 round. Disconcert, I guess, is an incantation. What's disconcert? What's disconcert, peoples? It doesn't explain what disconcert is. Okay. I don't know what that does, and it doesn't tell me. I'm sorry, guys. I failed you. Okay, partnering up. So on side 1, pretty much every DPS and healer. Side 2, every DPS and healer. Okay, I'm sorry. I won't gloss over this. So side 1, we're going to go Eternity, Centurion, Melania, or A-Knight. And then side 2 is going to be Lilya, Regulus, Charlie, Blonney, Matilda, A-Knight. And if you're okay with driving a stick shift, then Druvis and Satsuki as well. And then for healers on side 1, it's going to be Medicine Pocket, Dikke, and Balloon Party. And then side 2, it would be Tooth Fairy, Balloon Party, or Sotheby. Nice turtle. Good. And Lee's next. Got 3 more supports. If any of you are watching this too from beginning to end, my hat to you, because I'm dying right now. Okay. Okay. Ann Lee. One of my most favorite supports. Ann Lee, what's her kit? She does everything, people. Level 1, Lily Nectar for 2 rounds, increases your party-wide damage output, mitigates damage output. Wow. Taoist Rune, level 3. That's yeah. I mean, Taoist Rune does good damage at level 2, but level 3 is where the money's at. Dazes the enemy for 1 round, they cannot act. Amazing. Scientific Ghostbuster, ultimate, mass attack. Ann Lee enters Empower Incantation 1 for 2 rounds, which means for the next 2 rounds, each round you're going to have a random incantation, gain 1 star. Basically, her ultimate levels up random incantations. It's amazing. It's so good. So good. And you know, if you've watched the video up until this point, you know that some supports, some DPSs even, don't get additional utility until incantation level 2 or higher. So that's really amazing. Okay, Insight 1. Anna and Lee is jacked. So when a round starts, switches from break time to exorcism time. And so guys, basically Anna and Lee, she's kind of like me. She takes a break for like 2 minutes and then goes like full out everything. I don't know why I'm saying this, I'm tired. So just FYI, turn 1, Anna and Lee's in break time. Turn 2 is on exorcism time, okay? You take a break first and then you hustle. Okay, that's how we do it at life. Guys, take breaks. Okay. So, break time, when Anna and Lee's in break time, she takes less damage. This cannot be dispelled. When she switches to exorcism time, when she finishes her break, is ready to get to work, her rightmost incantation is going to increase by 1, which is super pog when she levels up either her buff or her Taoist rune, especially her Taoist rune when you really want to daze the enemy because you're facing like Forget Me Not, and Forget Me Not is like trying to petrify you. You daze that person, all right? And then additionally, when she is hustling, damage output and bypassing defense increases. She deals more damage and she bypasses more enemy defenses. So who can you pair Anna and Lee up with? You can pair her up with Lilya. Wait, Plant is which side? Plant, we said, is going to go side 2. Yes, okay, so I'm right. Lilya, Regulus, Charlie, Blonney, Matilda, Anite, Druvis, Satsuki. Everybody loves her. She does everything. Even the healers love her. She can go... Okay, I messed up the healer. Okay, so I did... Dude, my spreadsheet is super scuffed. I cannot release this to the public. Okay, so off the top of my head, the best healers for her on side 2 would be Tooth Fairy, Sotheby, and Balloon Party. Okay. Good job, Turtle. Good job. Okay, so Bkornblume is next. New skin makes me happy. Alright, so Bkornblume, I'm going to settle the debate once and for all. For everyone who says she cannot be played on a mental team, you are wrong, and here's why. Read the words, people. Read how the words are aligned in this prying ear. Listen carefully, okay? Mass debuff. All enemies suffer reality defense shred, one thing, and get increased damage taken 15%, the other thing. The reality defense shred portion will not benefit your mental team. However, the damage taken increased clause will increase the damage of your mental teams. Okay? I've had 3 people comment me saying I'm wrong, that I don't know anything, and next time don't film a video unless you know every little detail about this game, because they themselves didn't read this sentence properly. Sorry, I'm a little mad. Okay. So this is this multi-target attack, sorry. If the target is in stats down, which she will do very easily, then this attack will deal additional reality damage. You'll know when this will deal additional damage when you have a little triangular thingy on the top right, kind of like hovering up and down above this incantation on the bottom of the screen. Okay, ultimate uninvited reviewer deals reality damage, seals the enemy for 3 rounds. So basically sealing, they can't use their ultimate. And if they are immune to seal, you remove 2 of their moxie instead, which makes them still cannot cast their ultimate. Yeah, so that is really good. That's why Bkornblume is so amazing, in addition to the rest of her kit. Her Insight 1, when the enemy is in stats down, negative status or control status, damage dealt plus 20% to the enemy. That enemy will take 20% damage by any party member, reality or mental. Guys, she's not just for reality teams. Insight 3. When the caster is attacked by the enemy, so when Bkornblume is attacked by the enemy with status down, negative status, and control, she takes 20% less damage. Okay, so who can you pair with Bkornblume? Everybody. Lilya, Regulus, Charlie, Blonney, Matilda, A-Knight, Druvis, Satsuki, and even the healers love her. Sotheby, Tooth Fairy, Balloon Party, because my notes are scuffed. I have to think. Okay, we are almost done. 6 more characters. Diggers. Okay, so for Diggers, and so Diggers, Long Live Peace, his single target attack inflicts 2 stacks of weaknesses, which means that when the enemies that weak deals damage to you, they deal less damage. Bubblism, Mass Debuff, is a generic reality and mental defense shred. I love this so much. So good. And then for the Sweet Dreams for you, it inflicts 1 round of Nightmare, which means they cannot act. Dispels the effect after taking any attack. So basically, put them to sleep with the Nightmare. Don't attack them anymore until the next round. That way they stay immobilized. And if the enemy is in stats down, blah de blah, the effect lasts for 2 rounds instead. Imagine the enemy not attacking you for 2 rounds, peoples. That is amazing. Insight 1, when entering battle, gives Diggers a shield for 3 rounds. Whoa, I didn't know that. So Diggers won't take that much damage, so that's nice. And then Insight 3, when entering battle, gives shields to other allies for 3 rounds. Dang! Okay, so Diggers, just by being present and shooting all the bubbles around, everybody's dancing, right? And they're so drunk that they take less damage. That, flavor-wise, is amazing. So, for Diggers, the best DPS would be Lilya, Regulus, Charlie, Blonney, Matilda, A-Knight, Druvis, and Satsuki. All-star. And the healers are going to be Tooth Fairy, Sotheby, and Balloon Party. I'm almost done. Okay, so Medicine Pocket. I need to hire an editor. If any of you have editing skills, let me know, because I'm sweating right now. Oh, okay. So let's just go over the healers. Five healers in the 5-star, 6-star category. Let's talk about Tooth Fairy first. Let's go down the list. The best healer in the game, in my opinion. Empty Gums inflict confusion on the enemy, which make them more easily crittable. You can crit them better. Lullaby provides heals, and her heals enjoy crit rate boost. And when you have level 2 or higher, okay, anyways, just more heals. For some reason I thought it added sturdiness, I guess not. Okay, Song for the Bad Tooth. So this attack enjoys an extra critical rate, and in addition, if the attack scores a critical rate, you purify all negative statuses from all your allies. That is amazing. And for this reason, I go the crit rate build. And so this is my crit rate build. She gains 41% crit rate from this jigsaw puzzle. And in case you're curious, because I have a level 60, you know, that sort of thing. So she enjoys, so she will cleanse 55.5% of the time. And then if you have your Beyond Wonderland, oh, for some reason I thought it was more. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I misunderstood. Never mind. I mean, that's still useful to know, right? The amount of crit rate you can get maximum. Okay. So, Tooth Fairy pairs well. Okay, well, side 1. My notes, I think I even forgot to do them. This is going downhill. Okay, so Tooth Fairy, you're going to run on side 2. Off the top of my head, I'm not going to do that actually. Lilya, Regulus, Charlie, Blonney, Matilda, A-Knight, Druvis, and Satsuki. You have to run her on side 2 because the other 2 healers are either needed on side 1 or are backloaded healers like Sotheby. Yeah. And then supports, since you're going to run Tooth Fairy on side 2, it's going to be, and I didn't even talk of, oh no. Okay, so Star and Plant, right? Let's do this turtle. Baby Blue, Voyager, X, Annan Lee, Bkornblume, Diggers. Almost for, did I say Baby Blue? I don't remember. Baby Blue and Voyager. Yeah, those are the supports. I'm losing my memory. Okay, and then did I say DPSs? I don't remember, but if I didn't, then Lilya, Regulus, Charlie, Blonney, Matilda, A-Knight, yeah, even Druvis and Satsuki. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, guys. I probably repeated myself. Alright, next we've got Sotheby. Love her skin. She is kind of like a sub DPS because she applies multiple stacks of poison to deal Genesis damage. She will be enabling Jessica's kit in the second half of version 1.2, so I can't wait for that. Her heals, just so you guys know, it's not like other heals because for her heals, she applies a cure buff on all her allies, which makes it so that for the next 2 rounds, because it says cure when a round starts, restores HP based on Sotheby's attacks. So, starting for the next 2 rounds, at the start of those rounds, everyone who has cure will heal. So, I would probably, basically it's like a backloaded heal. It's like the Lightning Lord of heals, okay? And then the ultimate deals reality damage to all enemies, so be careful not to dispel your petrifies from your Druvis and Sotheby. And then Yeah, and then all active poison stacks and all active cure stacks will automatically proc, all of them. So even if you wanted to save a cure for the following turn, you're going to have to reapply it again right after this ultimate if you want to get a heal the next turn. Just FYI. Insight 1, the duration of the poison increases by 1 round. That's amazing. Additionally, Insight 2 is pretty good. Healing done increased by 10%. And then Insight 3, before concentrated essence. Yes. Before concentrated essence inflicts cure, the cure status on all ally effects take place immediately. Ah, okay, I just thought of a trick. If you need Sotheby to apply a heal now, this turn, because you are MonkaS on a stage where Forget-Me-Not is causing you misery, or actually Sotheby will cause you misery next round, but our next Limbo. So when Sotheby is causing you misery, making you very sad, and all your party members are in the red, it's okay. Everything's okay so long as you have saved 2 concentrated essences, because you cast 1 concentrated essence and the cures are waiting to do nothing until next turn, and then you cast another concentrated essence to finally make a pre-existing cure stack proc so that you actually heal immediately. Yeah, so that's in case you really need to use Sotheby as a healer, okay? And you're like an early player and you're in misery. Okay, so who can you pair with Sotheby? So Sotheby is more restrictive in the sense that because her heals and her poisons are more niche in the way they operate, so I would say the best partners would probably be, well, for supports it's a no-brainer. It's definitely going to be Bkornblume, Diggers, Anon Lee, X, Voyager, and Baby Blue. Well, yeah, Baby Blue, because those supports are going to support the main DPS, which could be anyone actually. Lilya, Regulus, Charlie, Blonney, Matilda, A-Knight, Druvis, and Satsuki. But if you have an I3 Druvis, then I think Sotheby will have extra value, because Sotheby will benefit from Druvis's Circle of Life. Okay, we got 3 more healers. Let's talk about Medicine Pocket next. In my opinion, Medicine Pocket, until Jessica's release, will be the second best healer in my opinion. The reason being is that her ultimate is able to daze, and dazing makes it so that the enemy can't act, and additionally she gains +1 moxie when she casts her ultimate, which makes it so that you can daze faster the next time around. Debuff is actually more useful than I originally thought, because I like to cast this Inherit Habit right before an ultimate to make the ultimate deal 20% additional damage, as well as all the subsequent attacks. So what I like to do is just Inherit Habit as my first incantation, and then my 2 ultimates, or my ultimate and attack if I'm trying to burst down the enemy. And then her heals are the ones that heal and also apply a stack of sturdiness, which is basically a damage reduction. It's like a shield. Alright, and then for Insights 1, 2, and 3, Insight 1, when she casts her ultimate, even though her ultimate itself does not heal, this Insight 1 will heal for you. It's not a big heal, it's actually one of the reasons I might actually I3 my Medicine Pocket, just to make the ultimate heal more, because it's based off of her attack. And then she'll do more damage with Insight 2. Insight 3, if Medicine Pocket is below 50% HP, her heals will be stronger. So this is kind of like, I mean, if you have the resources, go for it. But it's a good, Insight 2 is a good stopping point. And then, yeah, so for teammates, because you're running her on side 1, so it's going to be the side 1 team. So Centurion, Melania, Sweetheart, and A-Knight for the DPS. And then Pickles, Sonetto, Necrologist, NewBabel, Tennant, and X for the supports. Okay? And then last but not least, Dikke. Alright, so for Dikke...
Speak.
Okay, so for Dikke, her healing basically heals all allies, and if any ally is below 50% HP, she will top them up even further. And then for this, for her attack incantation power, basically it's just a standard damage output. And then if you have incantation level 2 or higher, it bypasses the enemy defense, because Genesis damage bypasses 100% of the enemy's defenses. That's how Genesis damage works. Maverick Judge, it's a single target attack, purifies all negative statuses from Dikke and makes her immune to negative statuses for 1 round. And then for her insights, Insight 1, when the caster attacks, if the caster's HP percentage is higher than the target's, attack plus 15%. Cool. So I think that even makes... wait. Okay, interesting. So basically, she's kind of like a vampire, right? The more blood you take out of them, the more damage she deals. Is that how it goes? Yeah, because the enemy... Yeah, because if your HP is higher than the enemy's, then your damage will... Dikke's damage will increase, but that probably won't be the case against the boss most of the time, because the boss's HP is a lot. Okay, and then Insight 3, when the caster attacks, if the caster's HP is lower than the target, leech rate plus 15%. That's kind of interesting. She's kind of like Demi in Final Fantasy, right? That move just averages out everything. It's all about balance. So who can you play with Dikke? Because you're going to run Dikke on side 1, so I would recommend Eternity, Centurion, Melania, Sweetheart, and A-Knight for DPS. And then for side 2, it's going to be Pickles, Sonetto, Necrologist, NewBabel, Tennant, and X. Alright. Wow, we are finished, folks. I don't know how long this video is. I'm terrified to upload it, but guys, if you made it to the end of this video, what should you say in the comments below? I would say, I don't know. I was going to think of something clever, but yeah. Anyways, guys, I really appreciate you all. And I'm gonna go to sleep now. Well, I'm gonna upload the video, put the timestamps, and then go to sleep, which might take me another hour. It's it's only 20 p.m. Okay, actually I got time. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. This video is gonna be super scuffed, but I don't think I have the energy to refilm this. So I promise I will do better. I will prepare longer, and I will probably have someone proofread my work before the next video. Okay. Bye.